In order to tune those parameters, I will introduce you to a really handy tool that I really like in ROS, which is RQT Reconfigure. RQT Reconfigure will allow us to tune the parameters in real time without changing the values in the YAML files and then having to start the package again. So if you go to move base, let's go, for example, let's take a look at the global cost map. So the global cost map has an inflation layer, and you can see that for example the inflation radius. So it's let's take a look around the table. Like if we make that a bit smaller, you can see that. Let me make it way smaller. So you can see that the cost of going around an obstacle now is lower, so which is represented by making this inflation layer or the gray area around the obstacles smaller. And it depends. It's really complicated to tune the navigation stack parameters because it depends on the situation that the robot is in. For example, if the robot is in a warehouse where boxes and pallets are everywhere, and the robot needs to be the path needs to be really optimized and take in consideration safety and workers passing through, it's really different than a robot that is navigating a house, for example, a vacuum robot. Or it's really different than a robot that is navigating an open space and picking objects and without human interaction or dynamic obstacles. If a robot need to go in really tight spaces, then the parameters will be way different than a robot that is navigating the house. So there are actually good resources. I will find them. I will show one of them here. Here is a paper on ROS navigation tuning guide. I will explain most of the parameters and the effect of each parameter. For example, in cost maps, it will take you in details on what's the effect of the map resolution is, for example, or the inflation layer, or many of the parameters used in the navigation stack. I will not go over those parameters here, but it's a good idea always to start ROS Reconfigure and then go there, check. If you hover on a parameter, you will read a short description of the effect of that parameter. And for example, this is an omnidirectional robot, so if you hover over the max velocity, it says the maximum strafing velocity of the robot should be 0 for non-holonomic robots, and so on. There is a nice description of each parameter. Please go ahead, take a look at those parameters, at the effects of changing them. You can drive the values really high and try to understand what's the effect of that, or set them to 0. But in general, RQT Reconfigure will make life really easy for you to tune the navigation stack or the planner values. So I guess that's it for the navigation tutorial. Notice that you need to, when you adjust those values in RQT Reconfigure, you need to store them in YAML files. And now it comes, if you take a look at the local cost map parameters, as I showed before, you can go to the package path. Look at config and you will see cost map common parameters, for example, and this is where MoveBase is loading the parameters from. So permanent changes needs to be made here, but you cannot make those changes in real time without using RQT reconfigure. Well, that's it for the tutorial, and see you in the next one.